When Batman loses everything, he doesn't just break, he becomes something truly terrifying. Today, we're exploring the origin of one of the most haunting versions of Batman, the Red Death. To understand the Red Death, we need to dive into the Dark Multiverse, a twisted version of the DC universe where each world represents a hero's worst fears and failures. These worlds are unstable, filled with darker versions of characters we know. And that's where our story begins. On Earth -52, Batman has faced loss after loss. The people he cares about, the city he's sworn to protect, and the fight against villains have pushed him to his breaking point. But unlike the Batman we know, this Batman is ready to do whatever it takes to ensure he never loses again. This Batman turns to Barry Allen, the Flash, convinced that the Speed Force is the answer to his problems. He believes that if he could harness the Speed Force, he'd have the power to be everywhere at once, to never lose again. But Barry knows how dangerous this power can be in the wrong hands, and he refuses. But Batman doesn't take no for an answer. In a desperate act, he overpowers Barry and binds him to the front of the Batmobile, using his own tech to force their bodies into the Speed Force. The result? A horrifying fusion of Batman and Flash, one being with Barry's speed and Bruce's dark determination. As the Red Death, Bruce has access to all of Barry's powers, including super speed, but with a terrifying twist. Instead of simply vibrating his molecules to phase through objects, he can accelerate his opponents to the point of disintegration. Red Death's aura isn't the usual red or blue of the Speed Force, but a dark, decaying energy that consumes everything in its path. Shortly after becoming the Red Death, Batman encounters the Batman Who Laughs, a twisted version of himself who serves Barbados, the dark god of the Dark Multiverse. The Batman Who Laughs recruits him, promising him a chance to save his world. But in reality, leading him into a larger plot to invade and destroy the prime DC multiverse. In Dark Knights, Metal, Red Death, and the other Dark Knights invade the main DC universe, bringing devastation. Red Death faces off against heroes like Flash, but as with many of the Dark Knights, he eventually falls, his own darkness consuming him. Though the Red Death met his end, his legacy as a twisted version of Batman has left a lasting impact. Fans are drawn to his tragic story, a hero corrupted by his fear of loss, embodying the consequences of Batman's drive taken to an extreme. It's a grim reminder of what can happen when the hero becomes the villain. So that's the story of the Red Death. Batman at his darkest, driven by fear and wielding the power of the Speed Force. If you want more breakdowns of DC's Dark Multiverse characters, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more comic lore.